Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and today we're going to give you 5 expert trucking tips when it comes to driving in mountains specifically. Now, we're not talking about these little hills that you see all the time. We're talking about mountains. And because you do live in this great country called the United States of America, we have pretty much every kind of terrain that you can think of. We have deserts, mountains, cities, and everything else in between. That being said, in today's video, we're going to be giving you 5 of the top things that you should be doing if you are driving in mountains as a truck driver. The first question I'm going to have for you is, when you're driving in mountains, do you think it's going to be more dangerous going up the mountain or actually going down? Or more accidents actually happening on the way down because of our friend called gravity? That being said, the first tip is going to be drive slow. Because when you are driving slow, you're a lot more in control. Because when you're going up, you're probably going to be driving slow even if you want to drive fast. The gravity is going to be fighting against you and you have 80,000 pounds behind you. That being said, you ain't going to be traveling 80,000 pounds up against gravity on a big mountain going up, no matter how hard you go, right? But when you are starting to go down, it is going to be super important that you actually do drive slow. And how do you know what to do when you're driving slow? You want to make sure that you're going at least 5 miles an hour underneath the speed limit. And it's not going 5 miles an hour underneath the speed limit at all times. What actually happens is, as an example, say the speed limit going down the hill is 55 miles an hour. You're going to make sure you're in the proper gear, first of all, to make sure that you're safe. How do you know you're in the proper gear? That means you're in 1 gear lower than what you climbed up the mountain in. That being said, say you climbed up the mountain in 8th gear. You're going to go down the mountain in 7th gear, and the speed limit is going to be 55 miles an hour. And we want you to go slow and steady. So what's actually going to be happening is, you want to make sure that you raise the speed limit up to 55 miles an hour. Once you get there, you're going to hold on to the brake, and then you're going to slow down until you get to 50 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour less than the speed limit. Then you're going to come off the brake. You're going to start rising again to 55 miles an hour, and then you're going to repeat that process. You don't want to keep pumping the brakes every single time to keep you at 55 or to keep you at 50, because all you're going to do is wear out the brakes. When you actually come off the brake, it lets the brakes cool off, and that means you're able to keep going nice and easy. Number 2 tip when it comes to driving on mountains is going to be check the grade. Now, what does grade mean? If you remember your math class, there's something called slope. Now, slope is how steep that actual hill is, whether you're going up or whether you're going down. Driving on a hill that looks like this is a lot easier than driving on a hill that looks like this. That being said, there's going to be signs out there. So for instance, if you're going up a hill, you're fully loaded and you have a very big steep or big grading going up the hill, you want to make sure you're going into a lower gear, because lower gears means you're going to have less speed but more power to fight through it. Now, you might want to make sure that you're over on the right hand side of the road, simply because you are probably going to be going slower than a lot of other traffic. You don't want to be causing a traffic jam, especially going uphill. And if you are shifting a tractor trailer going uphill, make sure you try to avoid the shifting as much as possible, because if you do a misshift and all of a sudden you can't get it back into gear, what do you think is going to start happening? That's right, you're going to start going down the hill, and we do not want that to happen to you. That being said, super important, make sure you go low and slow and watch the grade. So because you are going to be going slow because you listened to the first piece of advice that we have, now that means you want to make sure that you're using your hazards. So we don't want to be messing up anybody else's day. We want to make sure that we are just getting there safely and understand that we're bigger than most. So when we are bigger than most, we're probably going to be going slower. Now, if you're going slower than what the speed limit is, you want to make sure that you're using your hazard signals. That's going to make sure that the cars all around you and the vehicles all around you understand, hey, you ain't going to be going any fast anytime soon. You want to put on your 4-way flashers. You want to make sure that you are going at your pace that's nice and easy for you. Because if you don't, and you're in the New York area or the East Coast, they can get a little aggressive and you can hear a whole bunch of like you hear all over the time. Now, if you're using the 4-way flashers and you're going below the speed limit like you should, and you keep hearing this sound here, and if that's the case, you make sure that you give them the grace that they need, because they don't really know what's going on. To have them go around you and have them be nice and safe, you want to be as far away as possible from them anyway. Next one's going to be watch out for road conditions, especially during mountain driving. Because what happens, especially in the wintertime across the country, the higher you go up the mountain, the colder things get, which means cold brings ice and snow. Snow and ice are not the best friends of vehicles, especially tractor trailers. It takes a long time for these things to stop, and you want to make sure that you're always checking those conditions. In many cases, if it is snowing and you're going up a steep downgrade or upgrade, in that case, you want to make sure that you are safe enough to actually go, or else just pull over to the side of the road. Because it is going to be safer to stop, get delayed, versus trying to risk something, especially when you go to the mountain. There's going to be mountains out there where you're going to be climbing up that thing, and all of a sudden, it's a nice, clear, sunny day when you started, and once you get to the top of that thing, it gets pretty dark because the clouds have kind of gotten lower. Also, some of the mountains out there have very sharp turns, very narrow roads. So road conditions become super, super important. So if you see, for instance, a bunch of rocks on the road, be careful. If colder temperatures, make sure you're aware of things like black ice. Because last thing you want to do is roll down the mountain. And the last thing is going to be what to do in an emergency situation. So if you're driving down a mountain in an emergency situation, you're going to see this runoff ramp right over here. Now this runoff ramp is an amazing thing that's going to save your life, but not necessarily save your truck. The way these things work is you're probably going to see multiple of them, especially on those longer downgrades that you see. And what happens is, say for instance, you lose control of the vehicle. You can't stop. You burn out your brakes. You put the vehicle in neutral and you can't put it back into gear and you lost control. And you don't want to make sure that you're dying or killing anybody else. You want to make sure that you're taking one of these off ramps just like this truck is right over here. And what's actually going to happen is it's designed to actually go uphill. So it's going to attack gravity. So you don't have to worry about the gravity. And also it's kind of designed with a softer ground. So the higher you go up into that off ramp, the actual more stuck your truck actually gets. So kind of the ground is going to be built of like a sandy material. And it's going to make sure that you're stuck. You're probably not going to be able to drive out of there. You're probably going to need a tow truck. But paying the tow bill is going to be a lot better than paying the funeral bill. That being said, those are the 5 main tips when it comes to driving on mountains itself. Please put in the comments below which one did you know already? Which one do you think you like? If you feel like you have a lot more experience than most and you got some extra special tips that most people don't know about, make sure you put in the comments below so then we can actually post that on the next video. Maybe we'll even bring you in as a podcast guest so you can actually share your actual trucking knowledge with the world. Now, if you want to be driving a tractor trailer and you don't have your license yet, you exactly know what to do next. You want to come to the best truck driving school in the whole country called Driving Academy. We have locations that are planning to open up nationwide. Check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. We're one of the few schools in the country that are open up 7 days a week, which means you get to work around any kind of training schedule that you do have. We also do offer lifetime job placement, so it's our job to help you find a job. We have payment plans available. $500 down can get you started, and we can work out a payment plan for the rest. Other than that, we're probably one of the best schools around that can guarantee that you get a CDL license by giving you guaranteed training courses. That means over 100 hours of training plus unlimited tries at the road test. You pay one price and you get to walk away with your CDL as long as you don't give up on yourself, because we know we're not going to give up on you. So if you have any other questions, check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. If you don't see a location near you, contact our Linden office. We're able to help out students nationwide. Thanks and have a great day. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.